My fellow Americans, it is time to settle this race thing once and for all and put an end to the black-on-black campaign violence we have all been enduring. Now, I know some of you have been downright gleeful over the seeming poetic justice of me and Hillary running against a real black man. But I am here to tell you that Barack Obama is not any blacker than I am, and that even if he does get elected, he can only ever be the second black president. First of all, genetically speaking, Mr. Obama is only half black. So the fact that his father is the black man, the black person in the family, and his mother is white, according to Jewish law, he's white. And that goes for you too, Halle Berry. Now that we've established that, allow me to explain how, based on the common features of blackness as outlined by Miss Toni Morrison in 1998, I am in fact blacker than Mr. Obama, and indeed blacker than any actual black person who could ever be elected in our children's lifetime, as Miss Morrison waxed in her once wise way, before she decided to support the less black candidate this election. What happened, Toni? Did your kids die already? Just kidding. And make no mistake about it, Hillary is black, lest you think me a self-loathing brother who would marry a white woman. Now, before dementia took her mind and vision, Miss Morrison wrote that I display almost every trope of blackness: single-parent household, born poor, working class, saxophone-playing, McDonald's and junk food-loving boy from Arkansas. That's me. I'll give Mr. Obama props for being raised mostly by his mother, as I was. But let me ask you, was he poor? Uh-huh. Does he play saxophone? Not that I've heard. And when was the last time you saw him scarfing down a Big Mac? Didn't think so. I, on the other hand, play saxophone, grew up poor, eat Mickey D's, and have been known to occasionally use the N-word. Okay? There you have it. If you want more proof, just listen to what Barack Obama says about white people in his own memoir. And I quote, "None of our white friends at school in Hawaii treated us any differently than they treated each other. They loved us, and we loved them back." Now, I ask you, does that sound like the black experience to you? The man loves white people. In contrast, Hillary and I hate them. You should be wary of African Americans who don't spew anti-white rhetoric like Hillary and I do. Mr. Obama's black creds are sorely lacking. For example, Mr. Obama was born to an African rather than an African American. So there's virtually no chance that he is descended from slaves, whereas certain of my children are. Don't go judging me by my recent snooze that I took on Martin Luther King Day, all right? I happen to be an equal opportunity snoozer. Don't forget, Hillary and I were caught sleeping together at President Reagan's funeral, all right? So there. Besides, Mr. Reverend King would have wanted me to restore my energy so I could continue the important work that he started. In contrast, the lily-white Barack Obama recently made a truly offensive racial remark at the South Carolina debate when he answered a question about whether I was the first black president or not. He said, and I quote, "I would have to investigate more Bill's dancing abilities." My fellow Americans, what Barack Obama said there, essentially, was, "Tap dance for me, Bill." As a black man, I find that very, very offensive. I'll bet you all thought that was pretty funny about a man who isn't really black, but let's see how it plays when you find out Obama isn't either. Does he strike you as someone who can bust a move? I rest my case. Even the conservative conspiracist National Review got it right when a writer named Joseph Abrams wrote that Obama fails the Toni Morrison litmus test, lacking poverty, drudgery, and toil. Obama, who has thrived in the system, has led a charmed life. This is me continuing to quote here, National Review. That's the conservative conspiracist National Review. He has led a charmed life in his public experience in America. Obama has not suffered the indignities of racism. I, on the other hand, I have suffered the indignities. Writes Mr. Abrams, Morrison postulated that black men identified with Clinton, that's me, most as a victim, the helpless prey of a corrupt system. She identified my prosecution as a lynching, even a crucifixion. Now I ask you, has Mr. Obama been lynched? Has he been crucified? As Mr. Abrams sums up almost as well as I could, Obama is not radical enough, he is not miserable enough, nor angry enough. He has embraced the system rather than attacking it. The embrace of Obama is an embrace of his success, a rejection of the failures that Sharpton and Jackson represent and feed on. Is that really what you want from a black president? I thought Hillary and I demonstrated pretty clearly what a black presidency is supposed to be. My fellow Americans, not only did you already have an authentic black president in the White House, you as good as had Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. Now there's been some talk about how Mr. Obama's candidacy is the embodiment of that which Hillary and I have been working toward our whole lives, an electable black presidential candidate. And that we are actually standing in the way of the fulfillment of Dr. King's dream. This could not be further from the truth. Of course we want to see a president who at least looks blacker than we are. But not while we're running, Negro. Earth to Obama! Your timing is off. I mean, is this the thanks we get, Hillary? We created a monster!